You know, Nissan must be the most committed major Japanese maker when it comes to sports cars. Toyota went off on their long, humorless period, only recently fixed. You've got Honda, it's canceled their beautiful S2000 because it was too non-sober. Subaru, they basically make Pendleton shirts on wheels until very recently. But the whole time, Nissan's been making the Z since 1969. Let's drive this sixth-generation sample, the 2013 370Z, and check the tech. Now, the Z hasn't always been a car to celebrate. There were the great early years, then kind of the disco or Star Trek years. Later came the pudgy years, but now we're onto this sixth-gen car that I think has the most spiritual relationship to the original Z. Quite a different vehicle in the numbers, though. 2.2 times more horsepower than the original car, with just 1.4 times more weight. Yeah, it's quite a bit faster. Spot the 2013, by the way, by a revised face and LED running lights. Now, at the very least in the Z, you're going to have AM, FM, CD, and aux jack. Pretty basic stuff. If you don't try a little bit, you can get one of these cars like it was made in 1995. Luckily, our car is loaded up. We have the Touring package, which, along with the Nav package, brings you all the toys. The navigation we've seen before, I don't see anything very different here in terms of this Nissan interface. It's old, it's tired, but it's functional, and at least the colors kind of match the colors of the instruments. I guess that's a win. Now, if you don't load this car up with at least the Touring package, you don't get Bluetooth hands-free or Bluetooth streaming. That's kind of a shocker. The Touring package also brings in Bose audio. That's going to take you from 4 speakers to 6 speakers, Bose processing and amps, and 2 powered subs. Probably overkill for a car this size, but you can't complain about the thump. Now, navigation is separate on top of Touring. You've got to have a Touring-level car to even option that. Once you do, you get the nav, traffic, weather, the rear-view camera, even with the manual, by the way. But no around-view camera, which Nissan Infiniti like. You just get a backup camera in a Z. And that nav package brings you the Bluetooth streaming, iPod plus USB here in the console, and DVD playback here in the slide. All right, folks, now, in the front of your Z, you're going to find the classic, the bread-and-butter Nissan motor, one of their VQ family V6s. They've been making a living on these since 1994, and for good reason. It's a great V6. This one is a 3.7-liter. No direct injection, by the way, and naturally aspirated. Kind of an old-school engine at this point, but good numbers. 332 horse, 270 foot-pounds of torque. Gets this 3,300-pound sports car to 60 in about 5.2. It's not screwing around, but delivers kind of MPG for today's standards, 1826. Let's go for a ride. Now, the first thing you notice driving the Z is that it's not a dainty car. All the inputs, the clutch, the transmission engagement, the suspension response, even the steering are kind of heavy, mechanical, nicely sort of weighted. And it feels like you're really driving a machine as opposed to controlling a computerized thing. 6-speed manual in this car, which I like a lot. Great clutch and actuation on the gearbox. Again, feels kind of old school race car. See this S mode button down here? If I engage that, I get an S alongside the gear indicator, and now I've got rev matching. When I put the clutch in, the computer automatically sets the engine RPMs to match perfectly with the flywheel. So I can just dump the clutch and step on it, and I'm not going to have any weird hiccups. It's kind of training wheels, though. If you really enjoy driving a car like this, you know how to do that, or something close to it, so I think it's kind of a gimmick. The automatic, by the way, is a 7-speed. I'm sure it's a lovely automatic, but it doesn't make sense in this car. This is one of the last sort of really visceral sports cars out there, even though it's not as light as I would like it to be. So that brings up an interesting point. When will Nissan really revise this powertrain? Go to a smaller displacement, direct injection, likely turbocharged engine to take some weight off the nose and to give me more, shall we say, violent response to the throttle. There's plenty of power here, but this car doesn't come at you in a way that is really outrageous. And I think their market would like that. All right, let's price a 2013 Z Coupe. Base is about $33,900 delivered. with almost nothing in it. To go CNET style, you first want to make sure you buy one in the touring level trim. That gets you Bose, satellite radio, Bluetooth hands-free, and power leather seats. On top of that, you want to look at the navigation package. Nav, Bluetooth streaming, DVD, rear camera, USB, and iPod, $2,150 for that. Automatic is $1,300. You're not going to do that. So CNET style about $40,007, and you're on the road.